Go right ahead. So now every time I go, I make it a point to let him know I'm there. And I just trust him to send me some things out.
So that's really interesting to me because now you just said something. You said you're much more aware. You're reading menus,
Mm-hmm.
curious. How has that impacted you? You talk about pulling from your garden. How does that impact just how you make your decisions on what you pull together at home too? Because I'm a big believer of, knowing what you put in your body. And so
Right.
when you go to make a meal, I mean, how do you kind of think about composing a meal in order to satisfy your hunger and meet your nutritional needs?
Well, for me, it actually starts at the grocery store. As I'm going through the grocery store, my wife and I tend to shop together. And by the way, one of the things that has really helped, she is fully on board with this. Now,
Yeah.
she is not vegan. Although if we put together a good meal that's vegan, she'll eat it, but she's not fully vegan. But when we go shopping, as we're going down the aisles, we're reading labels and looking at things. Oh, we hadn't thought about this. This would qualify. Let's try this tonight. I came up with a great recipe about a week ago. Once again, we were shopping, and they had just gotten in a shipment of avocados that just looked great. And so I came up with a recipe. Some avocado dip of some sort would go good tonight. And we just made up an avocado dip that night. It was just delicious, but we were careful as we made it to make sure that it, still was a vegan dish. Although it's hard not to be vegan with an avocado dip.
Yeah.
But it's those kind of things. In the past, it would never have occurred to me to do an avocado dip. I would have done a cheese dip. But instead, we did an avocado dip that was just great. And I like it so much that given the choice, even if I weren't vegan, given the choice between that and a cheese dip, I would go with the avocado dip.
Mm. So you've got a situation where now you have kind of, what I call reset your taste buds or retrained your taste buds. And the things that you used to crave, you are now craving differently, where
That's
avocado
right.
was satisfying, where a plate of veggies with nuts is actually just as appealing, if not more appealing than a steak.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that, is it frustrating that your wife is not 100% vegan, or is it supportive enough where you just feel like it's okay and you're convicted enough where it's not like you need that 100% support?
No, doesn't bother me one bit. And I will say she is a pretty good eater in terms of health. She doesn't eat red meat and things like that, but she will eat some cheese, and she'll eat it in front of me.
Yeah.
And occasionally I tease her, and hey, you're just trying to torment me now. But the truth is, I've really kind of lost the desire for a lot of those kind of things. It doesn't bother me a bit. And I guess, boy, this is a terrible analogy I'm about to use, but I had a friend that liked to drink too much at one point in his life, and he had to go away for 30 days and get fixed. And when he came back, he wasn't drinking at all. And I asked him one time, we were at a restaurant, and I was going to order a beer. I said, is it okay for me to drink a beer? He goes, oh, yeah. It's fine. I'm in a different world now. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the same way with food.
Yeah.
People, I can be at some place, they're serving hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Now, why do you think that is?
One of the things is because I don't put all that much pressure on myself. I agreed with myself at the very beginning that, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. But if I wake up one day and I just got to have a steak, I'm going to eat a steak. Because as I mentioned earlier, I am not that much into self-denial.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, it's not like I've got the pressure of saying, I will never get to eat one of those hamburgers they're eating ever again in my life. Oh, my God. It kind of takes that pressure away. Well, if I want one, I'll eat one. I'm not going to eat one right now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you don't put that pressure on yourself. And, I'm sure part of it has to do with the results you've gotten. I mean, the results you've gotten.
Well, that's true.
Right?
It's very motivating to start seeing results. And I'll tell you, the first results I saw were when I got on the scales. I keep a set of scales in the bathroom. Every morning I weigh myself. And literally after about the first week, I started losing weight. And every day I'd get on the scale and go, oh my God, I've lost another pound. Oh my God, I've lost another pound.
Yeah.
And I'm down to, I'm 6'4". I weighed this morning, I weighed 211. I haven't weighed 211 since I was in high school.
Wow.
And so every few days, you're getting that positive feedback, and that is extraordinarily motivating to have that.
Oh, I can imagine. So, okay, so you've made this big life shift. You've, changed your numbers. You've literally reversed the trajectory of these potential diseases that were knocking on your doorstep.
Right.
Do you think that it also changed just your energy level and how you see life, like the filter that you see things through? Because I often hear from people who have, made big lifestyle changes. I mean, you can tell by your accent, you're from a part of the country where, maybe it's not really a vegan lifestyle that they're doing. I mean, here in Southern California, it's pretty common, but like in Georgia, maybe not so common. Like, how do you see this affecting like just kind of your whole outlook on life, and does it make you want to share this lifestyle with others?
You know what? You're right. Down here, I live in Georgia, and there is nothing on the planet we can't deep fat fry down here in Georgia. That is what we do. We put some batter on it, throw it in the big fryer, and then we eat it. And, if you look around, you understand. If you look at the population, and this is something I've started noticing. You talk about just your different view of life. I have started noticing how many people are overweight. I'd never noticed, and I was one of them. I'll be the first to say I was one of them. I look around, and it is amazing. And I've read statistics lately about the growing population, literally growing population of obese people. And, there are a lot of different reasons people think that is the case. I can't help but think that in the South, it's how we're eating down here. There's a barbecue restaurant on every corner. Everything is deep fat fried. And, once again, people can do whatever they want to with their lives. I'm not out here preaching, but I know for me, I look at the lifestyle. I was a part of that lifestyle for so many years, and I see where it had taken me, and I see how once I got off that road onto another road, it is now taking me to a different place. I can't help but think that there is a better road that we could all be taking if we made those same choices. Once again, I'm not a preacher. I'm not telling people how to live their lives. But if anybody were to ask me, Rich, how can I achieve the same kind of results you've achieved? I would say, well, there's not one thing. It's a whole lifestyle kind of thing. All that barbecue you're eating and all those fried pickles and all that, that's what I was doing. And now I'm doing something else, and it's been better for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, something that we recommend, is people start with 1 day a week, start 1 day a week with a meatless Monday and just try and explore other things. Is there anything that you would recommend to people just to kind of take one step towards that direction of maybe giving up some of the things that are not necessarily great for your health?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked me that. A friend of mine, we were in a restaurant the other night, and I was looking over the vegan menu. And he said, if I was going to do this, how would you suggest I get started? I said, you can start right now. Here's how you do it. We're sitting in this restaurant. Look at the menu. Find something on there that's vegan that you wouldn't have considered trying before. And instead of that steak or that hamburger tonight, just try that.
Yeah.
And see if you find something on this menu that you like that's good for you. And if you do, then try it at the next restaurant and the next one. And kind of, put your toe in the water and see if you don't, like me, find things that you go, wow, I like that as much as what I was going to order. I think I'll order this instead because not only is it good, it's good for me. I think that's a real easy way to get started.
I love that. One toe in the water and try it. And if you like it, keep trying.
Then try it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Rich, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you for sharing your awesome case study, your own personal case study with us, and hopefully encouraging people out there to take that next step with one toe in the water.
Been my pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I know you have a lot of choices out there of what to listen to, what to watch, so it means a lot to me that you're here with me. And hey, if you love this content, would you hit the subscribe button? I want you around. I don't want you to just show up for one episode and leave. I want you here, part of the conversation, a seat at this table. And while you're at it, would you share this with your friends and family? And if you take a screenshot and share it on your social media with a hashtag RFYBL for Recipes for Your Best Life, I'll make sure to personally give you a shout out, and you may just be featured right here on the show. So until next time, here's to living deliciously and being the chef of your best life.